Hey, this is Ralph, and we're still working on those exam skills. In the last video, I made a spinning tire, then I made a symbol that was a set of those spinning tires, and then when I had the recorder off, I spent a whole bunch of time just going through frame by frame and adjusting. So basically, at the end of the last video, I placed or positioned my set of tires on frame 1 at some starting point. Doesn't really matter where. And then I went through frame by frame and I adjusted the rotation and the up and down positioning of the set of tires. I literally just went frame by frame, adjusted my rotation a little bit, and used the up and down arrow keys on my keyboard just to get the tires just touching the land. And it's a little bit tedious, but it makes for a neat effect. So now if I press my enter key, it looks like the wheels are moving over the land pretty tightly there. And if I do control enter, my loop effect will look pretty good. So, and that's basically just those wheels are just moving right over the land. Now to make the effect look pretty good, it's nice if the tires are roughly in the same position on frame 1 as they are on my frame 48. And they are, so that's pretty good. They're not exactly the same, I'm sure. I didn't go through to the motion editor and put in specific numbers, which you could if you wanted to. I just kind of eyeballed it, but that kind of helps the illusion for the loop. Okay, so that takes care of the truck tires and our moving land. So next, I'm just going to go ahead and create a truck body. So I'll go ahead and insert a new symbol, and this will be my truck body. And not a very good artist, so we're going to do all of this on I'll just do one layer here. And let's see, I will use a pen tool, I think. We could do this in a couple, actually we could do this a number of different ways, I suppose. We could take a rectangle, pretty good at rectangles, and I'll choose a blue Jeep. Sounds good, bright blue Jeep. Draw a rectangle. Now I need some wheel wells for this, so I'll go ahead and change over to an oval tool, change my color. And I'm just going to run down here real quick and I'll just kind of make a circle there. Copy, just do another one. I'm just kind of eyeballing all this stuff. Not being very precise here at all. In fact, I'll move that one a little more, that one a little there. And if you've got artistic skills, you're going to be much better about doing this kind of stuff. I'll just move those up. Get rid of those. Add a couple anchor points right about there and there. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. And just with my selection tool, I can just kind of bring that down. Bring that down a little bit, bring this down a little bit. So there's kind of my Jeep. I'll use my line tool with a black stroke, make it kind of thick. And let's see, we need a roll bar with a support. Looks pretty good. Just kind of round that out a little bit. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and I'll just do another quick little rectangle. Black fill or dark gray fill. Do a black stroke, but really thin. See if you can tell what this will. We'll pretend this is going to be my spare tire in the back. Alright, good enough for government work. Is that what we need a windshield. Ah, crap. Alright, line tool. Let's get another line tool here. 8. Little windshield. And a steering wheel. And that is my Jeep body. And I think something else that might look kind of cool, since I got my line tool here, in fact, I'll change the color of this. Do some just going to create a couple struts down here. And when I position this truck body, it's going to be just behind the tires, so the tires will be kind of in front of those, blocking them for the most part. But hopefully I sized them in a good place. I might have to stretch my Jeep a little bit. But now I've got my truck body. I can head back over to scene 1. I'm on layer frame 1. Let me go and create a new layer, and this will be my truck body layer. But technically I want my truck body to be behind the tires, but I can move that later on. I'll lock down these others. Go to frame 1. I'm just going to take my truck body. There it is. Pop it up there. It's really big, so I'll use my free transform tool. Size that down a bit. And now I'm going to zoom in and rotate a bit. And basically what I'm going to spend just a second or so doing here is I want to size my Jeep here so that it kind of corresponds with my truck tires. And it's okay if it's not matching up a little bit better. In fact, it might even look better if my there's less space in the back wheel where the weight is when it's going uphill and stuff like that. And if I take my truck body, let's go to that layer. This will be my truck body layer. If I take my truck body layer and move it behind the tires, see now the struts are kind of behind there. And it looks pretty good. You know, someone watching is going to easily get the idea for what's going on. And let me just go ahead and, I don't like how pointy those wells are, so I'm just going to try to adjust that a bit. Alright, getting too carried away with it. So now I've got this truck body. Now this is going to be kind of a tedious task. I'll go to my truck body layer, frame 1 on the timeline, just create a motion tween. That's going to last. And I'm going to do with this truck body here exactly what I did before. Let me change my zoom out to 150. So I'm going to head by frame, and I'm going to adjust my truck body. And this is going to require a little bit of using the rotation, and I can also use the arrow keys on my keyboard. And slow and steady will take care of that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm just going to keep moving this around. And by the way, you could just move the whole. You don't have to just use the arrow keys. Just keep doing this frame by frame. Make sure I get them all. And I'm just going to keep adjusting this. We'll see how it looks in just a second. Okay, let me just show you the last few here just so you definitely get a feel for what's going on. I'm just going frame by frame, and every time I make a slight adjustment to this truck body, it's making a new keyframe on this motion tween. I'm just kind of adjusting here. Slow work, but not too difficult. Almost there. Actually, that one looks pretty good. I'll just adjust it just a little bit. And finally we get to this last one. I can raise it up there. And once again, the effect might look best if our truck body on frame 48 is at the same spot it is on frame 1. Ooh, I might have gotten lucky. It looks pretty damn close. Very close. So on frame 1 it's a little lower. Frame 1 it's a little higher. And of course you could be super precise just by jumping over to the motion editor and putting the exact coordinates in here. XY position and the rotation is on here also. But I don't want to be that precise. But I think we've got it going pretty well. If I press my enter key, you can kind of see now how the truck is moving along across this land with its wheels and the truck body. And if I press Control Enter to test this out, we've got this kind of endless loop going on. That truck is just, just bumping in all over those hills. And that was the basic exam skill for doing the rotation of the tires and just getting the fine adjustments. Now there were a couple other things you had to do too. I wanted you to put a couple cacti, one in the background, one in the foreground, just kind of moving past, and that can be right on the land, so that'd be pretty easy. You also did a shape tween cloud going across the sky, and you had your name incorporated in there too. But I wanted to go over those basic concepts with you. This is a lot of motion tween and use of symbols. So motion tweens and symbols, and also being a little bit patient and being very specific on where you wanted one object to be at a particular point in time. So have fun with this, make some things, and if you're artistic, maybe consider putting a little, maybe a stick figure character writing in there or something like that, a little bit more elements to your animation. Take care.